Hat, sunglasses, Pepsi, notes, sources, thick skin. Check. You already know. Let's go. Golden Blooded is a college football YouTube channel for entertainment. So make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and let's get into our next college football video. Don't forget to send gear to represent your team. The address is P.O. Box 360, Liberty, South Carolina 29657. Finally, West Virginia wins a basketball game in the Big 12. We had started Big 12 play 0-5. I was getting very, very depressed as a West Virginia fan. Of course, West Virginia football just came off a 5-7 season. That's depressing enough. West Virginia started off the basketball season 10-2, looking pretty good, ranked number 24 in the nation, and then we hit Big 12 play, and it's like we hit a brick wall. I don't know what happened. I think the biggest thing was Eric Stevenson's obscene gesture in the Oklahoma State game, which cost us that game, and then it just kind of snowballed from there. Maybe West Virginia is starting to recover. I don't know, but we finally get a win, and it was against a good team. Number 14, TCU, who was 14-3 going into this game. West Virginia was 10-7 going into this game, and the Mountaineers not only prevailed, but they basically dominated TCU. Their lead was stretched to all the way to 18 points at one time. West Virginia wins 74-65. This was a complete game for West Virginia. TCU did make their runs. I think they closed the gap to as close as 2 points at one time, so they did make their runs, but West Virginia holds strong and comes out with a big win. Hopefully we can build momentum on this, because we only have 13 games remaining in the regular season. And of those 13 games left, 9 of those are currently ranked in the AP Top 25 for college basketball. The AP Top 25 for college basketball is completely different than college football because there's a lot more teams. So if you get ranked in the top 25 in college basketball, that's even more impressive than college football. And the overall record for the remaining teams, 173-59, that's a winning percentage of 74.5%. That is a tough remaining schedule. Here is what their remaining schedule looks like. The next game, we get number 7 Texas at home, 15-3. In my opinion, that also is a must-win game because you don't have that many home games remaining. You have to make them count. And I know Texas is tough, but we just beat TCU. We can do it again and make it back-to-back. After that, on the road to one of the worst teams in the Big 12, Texas Tech, who's 10-8, but they're not a bad team. You better play your A game and go win that road game. Then our out-of-conference game, our only remaining out-of-conference game, of course, are ranked number 16 Auburn, who's 15-3. You need to win that game, but it's not as important because it's out-of-conference. Then back on the road, playing the same team we just beat, number 14 TCU. They'll be out for revenge. They're 14-4. Not necessarily a must-win, but I wouldn't be sad if we won that game. That would be a nice win on the road to a ranked team. Then we get Oklahoma at home. We've already lost to Oklahoma on the road. Oklahoma is one of the worst teams in the Big 12, 11-7, but they're not a bad team. That is a must-win because it's a home game against one of the lesser teams. Then we get number 12, Iowa State. Iowa State's good this year. They're 14-3. I also think that's a must-win because it's at home. Then we go on the road to number 7, Texas, who, of course, is 15-3. Then on the road to number 21, Baylor, who's 13-5. We've already lost to Baylor at home, so even that might be a must-win game. Then we get Texas Tech at home. I just talked about it. One of the worst teams in the Big 12, 10-8, but not bad. Must-win game right there. Then we get Oklahoma State at home. They're also 10-8, so they're also one of the worst teams in the Big 12, but not a bad team. That is a must-win game. Then at number 2, Kansas, who's 16-2. I don't expect West Virginia to even come within, 10 points. I think we get blasted. Kansas already blasted West Virginia in Morgantown. Then on the road to number 12, Iowa State, who's 14-3. That's going to be a tough road game. Not a must-win, but at least be competitive. And then we finish off the regular season with number 13, Kansas State, who's 16-2 right now. We lost to Kansas State in our first Big 12 game. I believe it was in overtime. So I would say that's a must-win game. And finish off the season with a win. But that is a tough schedule. I would say that our remaining home games are must-win games. And we need to pick up a few road wins as well. Yesterday, you know what? From field goal percentage, TCU actually outshot West Virginia. Not by much. They shot 52.4% from the field. We shot 46.3% from the field. We barely outshot them from three-point. They shot 25% from three-point land. We shot 26.7% from three-point land. It was the rebounds. If we can out-rebound our opponents like this from here on out, we're going to have a lot of wins. TCU had 18 rebounds. West Virginia had 31 rebounds. we almost doubled them up. That is a great rebounding performance. If we can do that every game from here on out, then West Virginia is going to have a lot of wins. But West Virginia has to be consistent. Now, our leading scorer, or usually our leading scorer, Eric Stevenson, one of our best guards, he was 3 for 10. He struggled a little bit with just 9 points. And of course, our other big-time player, forward Trey Mitchell, he was 2 for 6 with only 6 points. So other players had to step up and score some points. Joe Toussaint off the bench, he actually struggled. 3 for 12 for 7 points. But he played some pretty good defense in this game. So at least he made up for that. Emmett Matthews Jr. had a decent game. He was 4 for 8 with 10 points. But the two best players as far as scoring goes was Kedrian Johnson. We have been waiting on this guy to have a great game. This was a great game for Kedrian Johnson. He was a leading scorer, 5 for 8. That's a pretty good percentage right there for 20 points. And then for Jimmy Bell Jr., man, what a nice surprise. He had a breakout game against TCU, 5 for 7, 15 points, 12 rebounds. That's right, a double-double against TCU. That's exactly what we needed. And Jimmy Bell Jr. was hitting his free throws. Maybe the rest of the team can see what he does at the free throw line and copy whatever he's doing and start making our free throws. Because a lot of our losses has been because we can't make our free throws. We have got to start making our free throws if we want to win from here on out. And Jimmy Bell Jr., he was hitting his free throws, especially when TCU started to cut it close. Whenever they trimmed the lead down to 62-60, Jimmy Bell Jr. hit both of his free throws, stretched it out to 64-60, and West Virginia went on a run. That's very, very important. Free throws are very, very important. So if West Virginia can do that, then we'll be in good shape. But we have been inconsistent at free throws, so I don't have a lot of faith in it. I have a lot of hope from what we saw last night, but not a lot of faith. So we'll see if West Virginia can start hitting their free throws. And it looks like Bob Huggins is starting to mix up the starting lineup, which I like. That means players need to work to maintain their starting status. I like that. Competition is never a bad thing as far as determining who your starters are going to be in any given game. So I like what he's doing, mixing it up, and Jimmy Bell Jr. answered the bell. A double-double versus TCU. I like it. Now, from here on out, I've said in one of my videos, if it gets to the point to where West Virginia is not looking good and we're not going to get out of a ditch, I do think Bob Huggins will retire. So I was thinking, hey, if the rest of this season goes the way it's been going as far as in Big 12 play, Bob Huggins might retire at the end of the 2022/2023 season. But last night was a big-time turnaround game. Maybe we can build on that and finish strong. And then Bob Huggins would stay for another few years. Because I do think it's his job for him to keep as long as he wants it. Because I think he'll make the right decision. If West Virginia gets in a bad situation and he feels like West Virginia can't get out of it, I do think Bob Huggins has character and he would retire. So hopefully this is a sign of things to come and West Virginia gets it together and strings along a big-time winning streak. Wouldn't it be nice if West Virginia matched the losing streak with a 5-game winning streak? That would be awesome. Here's to hoping for a 5-game winning streak to make up for that 5-game losing streak. So y'all let me know in the comments section, whether you're a West Virginia fan or whether you're not, do you think this is a sign that West Virginia can get it together and put together a nice winning streak? Or do you think this game was a fluke and West Virginia is actually in for a rough season in the Big 12 and West Virginia actually misses the big dance? Do you think Bob Huggins does the right thing and actually retires? I think he does if West Virginia gets in that bad situation. That's all I got for this show. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you on the next show.